So, I'm not the biggest Eldar fan. However, I can acknowledge when they get something, when a faction gets what they deserve. So, happy Eldar Day to all you Eldar enjoyers out there. I did see that there were some new models released. A Phoenix Lord returns. The Warp Spiders are back in action. The model does look really cool, I do have to say. I'm not much of a model guy myself, but it does look really, really cool. And since the Eldar are on the up and up and they're the topic of conversation in the community, I think it would be fun to talk about the Eldar, but more in a broader narrative, really, in this video. And I'd like to talk about Isha, the goddess of, the health and prosperity and cures all diseases and whatnot. Because Isha is one of those things in Warhammer where she kind of lies in this weird in-between state of, we the viewer can see them and know that they exist, but in the overall setting, people know that they exist, these creatures or characters or whatnot exist, but won't ever fundamentally impact the setting in any real way. And some examples of that are the Vaults of Terra, the Tauva god or goddess in the Warp, the clone from Fulgrim in the Fabi Spile trilogy, the Watchers in the Dark. There are, many examples of these gray areas in Warhammer where they're there, but they're not there. They're maybe mentioned in some codexes, some lore tidbits, and some rule books, but they don't really do much of anything, and there's reasons for that one way or another. But Isha is one of the more interesting ones to me. Oh, and Kegarak, but because Isha has the potential to really bring a lot more factions to the limelight, so why not? Let's just get into it. What's up, everybody? Angron's calmest son, and Isha deserves her flowers too. Now that the Eldar are getting on the up and up, I think, that Isha would be really one of the best opportunities for the Eldar to really get that one novel or story that kind of, at least sort of maybe propels them closer to Space Marine priority, if you will. And the reason I'm choosing Isha and not Kegarak is because Isha is a lot more passive in the universe. She's more understood to be there, but we don't see a lot about her. And I think an opportunity with her can necessarily free up and bring a lot more factions into the limelight that have maybe fallen off the radar, if you will. So, I know a lot of people like to say, don't let the fans write the stories, but allow me, a fan, to write the story. So think of it like this, right? Here's what I had in mind. So what if we had a story that would say, maybe Isha, she's still in the garden, whatnot, shit's going down, but this can be used as a way to free up the Ynnari, cornering of their plot line, right? And then a lot of people have expressed that the plot line sort of ran and it's written itself into a wall, and there's no escaping that wall, right? Now, keep in mind, I don't know much about the Ynnari, but this is just what I've seen from other people who enjoy the hobby. What if a way to sort of get out of that is, to have the Ynnari sort of interact, or at least try to interact with Isha? Because who else would know about this, Eldar gods, pantheons, and whatnot, than Isha? Isha can maybe interact with Ynid, or a Farseer, or Yevlorine, I don't know how to say her name, man, can interact with Isha. Farseer can sort of get involved there, and we could start the journey there, where all these different Eldar are trying to invade the garden, and who gets wind of this? Either A, the Death Watch, or B, the Grey Knights. Now, personally, I'd like to see some Grey Knight action. Death Watch would be cool too, but mainly I feel as though the Grey Knights have sort of really fallen off the radar. A lot of people, everyone likes to complain their favorite faction is always the one that's most forgotten, but I feel like if I'm being real, the one I usually forget about the most is either A, Sisters of Silence, or B, the Grey Knights. They haven't really been very present in the story, I feel like. And I used to really enjoy, the Grey Knight stuff, but as Primaris were getting introduced and as I kept getting engrossed in the setting, I forgot about them. So why not have, the Grey Knights are noticing that the Eldar are all converging in the Warp, and something big is going down, so why not try to intervene and get rid of some chaos tomfoolery? And the Death Watch, maybe, if we're going to Death Watch route, would come in and obviously see all these Xenos meeting, and they could find a way to maybe two kill a bird, oh my god, is it Kill two birds with one stone. There we go. Wow, world eater type thinking right there. But the Death Watch would come in and obviously try to get rid of as many Eldar as possible, while also trying to get rid of Isha, right? And this also frees up a narrative where we could have chaos on chaos violence. Remember, a lot of people seem to generalize that that chaos's main goal is to spread and do all that, which it is, but they really think that their whole goal is real space, which is partially true. That's 50% of it. But the other 50% is that they also war every time, every day, and try to get territory in the Immaterium. So it would make sense that other people would now rush in to the garden. Remember, during Godblight, Gilliman did the big old hocus pocus alakazam with the Emperor and goes, BAM! And sort of inflicts an emotional, psychological, not real wound on the garden, but obviously with thought and intent and emotion that harms Nurgle. So this obviously should free up literally all of chaos to go invade and then, set some, assert some authority, if you will. This could include some demon primarchs, but really I don't think I'd like to see that. I think I'd like to see some greater demons in action and just kind of like chaos do as chaos does. Maybe Kugoth comes back. I don't know. But I'm just trying to spitball here because really, and have maybe the Sisters of Silence act as an entourage to the Grey Knights. But what I'm trying to get at here, ladies and gentlemen, is that it would be, there are a lot of opportunities here, and Isha doesn't necessarily have to be freed, right? Because remember, my thought process was, what if we freed Isha? That would be too big to the setting. And first of all, someone else on the internet brought up a really good point that I didn't consider. Slaanesh would probably just immediately devour her, which is probably the most likely scenario. So why not have her locked up and have this event occur where all these different factions that we don't necessarily see anymore, or maybe we get some short stories, bring them into the limelight, make them, shine, have them be cool again. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is a lost opportunity on GW and the authors. But keep in mind, I don't know how it works. I'm sure that the authors are given some leeway of what they can do, what they're not allowed to touch. But Isha is a prime example where she can still stay in that gray area of being in the setting while doing nothing, but still being extremely important. She can still be there. And I know that there's this narrative too where people think that Russ is going there. So to, talk to Isha, get from the Tree of Life to revive the Emperor, get him off the throne. So you get what I'm saying, though. There's a Space Wolf narrative now. There's a Chaos on Chaos narrative. The Grey Knights, the Sisters of Silence. There's a way to integrate these factions and bring them into the main fold. I know there's a lot going on in the setting. I know that there's a Silent King, Dawn of Fire book announced. I know there's a lot going on. Obviously, this isn't going to happen, but it would be nice. And I'm just saying it's a completely missed opportunity to have Isha do something. You can make the same argument for Kegarak, of course. You can make the same argument for really any of the previous things that I've mentioned that are in that little purgatory zone. But Isha, I think personally, is the choice to go with. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a foolish thing? You think Isha should sort of stay out of the limelight? Or should Isha kind of come into the fold and save these factions and kind of bring them into relevance again? I'm curious as to what you guys think. So anyway, if you watched the whole video, thank you so much. If you want to subscribe, getting real close to 500 subscribers. And at 500, just remember some incentive. This guy right here and this guy right here will get painted at 500, and I will try to assemble the rest as I get more subscribers. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I am out of here.